everyone, and welcome back. We are the RPGeeks, and you're joining us for another exciting episode of Orbital Blues, Blackstar. We're going to do some very quick intros and then dive straight into the story. My name is Shamini. I use she, her pronouns, and today I am playing Jules Valentino, who uses they, them pronouns. Emily.
Hello, I'm Emily Bates. I use she, her pronouns, as does Tia Parker, who is my character. Yes, Fiona.
Great. Hello, everyone. My name is Fiona. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm playing Kingsley, who uses he, him pronouns. I'll pass it over to Drac.
Yeah, hi. I am Drac. I use he, they pronouns, and my character, Blank, uses any. Don't really care. And Dylan.
Hi, I'm Dylan, or Super Dylan. My pronouns are she, he, and they, and I am playing Wyla Brewster today, whose pronouns are she, her.
Finally.
And I am Ed. He, him. I am all the voices that you hear in your head. That's me. That was not. That was barely an
Explains a lot, doesn't it? Yeah, nice.
Wait, so much of my life makes so much more sense
Wow,
now.
it was Ed.
Oh, yeah, it was Ed's
So
fault.
it's Ed
Okay.
all along.
And let us dive straight in then. We'll hand over to our GM, Edward Spence.
Blank. Your vision swims in slow motion as the bar comes into focus. Blood drips down from your open mouth as picking yourself up off the floor. You see Delta lying off to one side, bloodied and beaten, held up off the floor only by the scruff of their collar as a bulky man stands next to them, wearing a leather jacket on which you see the symbol of the Reno Snakes, and Delta's cold, lifeless hoverboard lies next to her. 5 more snakes stand immediately around, and even the bar hand brandishes a shotgun in your direction. And towering over you, a booted heel pressing down on your own scrap-built hoverboard, wearing a brown snakeskin duster, stands the head of the Reno Snakes, Francine Dubois. And between her index and middle finger, you see a curved, gleaming metal blade, stained with red. And as you begin to shift your weight, you feel the cut in the side of your abdomen. And as you look up, your bare face gazing at hers, she smiles. You put up a hell of a fight, kid, but you're out of time. And you're good, I'll give you that. But I think we're done playing. Hand over my energy core, and I'll only kill you. What do you say?
Blank very shakily picks himself up, gripping the wound in their side, and say with their voice, "Just let Delta go, please."
That's not the deal, kid. It's not the deal when you walked into my bar, earned my trust, ran with my people.
I would turn to look at Delta, who's being held up.
I would say, through the quite substantial bruise around her right eye, you see her just wink at you in a manner that you are familiar with, and you see that her right hand on the floor, she is tapping. And not only is she tapping, she is counting down. 5, 4, 3. What are you doing?
Blank will, assuming that this is the maneuver that he thinks it is, one that they've done many times before, Blank will reach into the pouch at their side. At this point, you can see it's still almost warm and glowing as they pull out their energy core and will slowly walk towards Francine with it outstretched, as if they're going to offer it to them.
Good. Any last words for your friend down there?
I will turn to Delta, and again, assuming that this is the maneuver he believes it is, one that will get them both away safe, he just yells, "Now!" and will turn to try and run.
She immediately just slams down on her own hoverboard, and without someone on it, it immediately just starts flying around the bar, careening into everything and anyone. Snakes are going flying. Bottles are smashing underneath the fire and the metal that flies around, and you see it take out the man in front of her, and she begins crawling over towards your own board as well, and you are running. And as you do so, can you make a grit check for me, please?
Literally my worst stat. Okay. Yeah, a 6.
As you run forward, you feel the back of your neck just go as from behind, Francine Dubois grabs your jacket and pulling you back in, just pulling you in so you can feel the hot breath against your cheek. I would have chosen better words. And with that, she just plunges the knife into your throat and tugs across. And you fall to the ground. And everything once more starts to fade to black. And you hear, blank, blank, blank! And she, as Delta runs towards you, just slapping your face. And you can see as your eyes come to that Francine Dubois lies to one side, having been knocked over by Delta. She is just slapping your cheek and blank, 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 and she just starts pressing against your throat. Is there anything that you manage to get out?
I think what they say is gurgled and muffled in the blood that they're choking on is, "I don't want to die."
A single tear just falls onto your cheek as Delta looks at you, and then just next to you, your scrap-built hoverboard and the energy core that still rests in your hand. Not today. And she just pushes you onto its top and just slams down on its engine as it just... And you find yourself lifting up, your arms limp and still dragging along the floor as your board just flies out of the bar, through the tables, crashing through chairs, as you just watch the world fly by. And as you manage to just lollop your head behind you, you see Delta brought down by snakes as Francine Dubois stands and begins to walk towards her, as you crash out of the doors of the bar into the bright light of the outside world, and everything goes white. The last hour has been a blur. You don't remember stepping onto the ride. You don't remember Wyla and Palexi between them navigating the ship's way off Angel One. You don't remember Kingsley's odd silence upon stepping on board the ship, nor Jules, nor Tia's distraction. But as you come to, you feel Delta's hand around yours, squeezing. You okay?
Blank's hands are trembling. I think Wyla still has their masks. I think they are maskless right now. But her hands are trembling. And they just... You see they raise their hands to sign something, and then they just fall back to their sides, and she just shakes her head.
It's okay. You scared about snakes in the system?
It's almost like the wound on their neck rages, almost a pain at the mention of snakes, as if the wound itself is remembering. And they rub the scar and then nod.
It's a big system. And hey, I got away from them before with your help. We'll just do it all over again if we have to. I'm here because of you.
He signs. You were taken because of me.
They just take your hand. They kiss it and rub it, and we're family. There's no blame.
They just nod, pushing back tears, but can't bring themselves to really sign anything because they know their hands will betray them.
They just reach up and, gently taking your head, just brings it down onto their shoulder and just kisses your forehead and wipes away any tears that threaten to come to the surface.
They just kind of melt into it. They don't try to have any bravado about it. I think they just cry, honestly.
The rest of you, having long escaped the Enforcer ship that was in fast pursuit of you, what is everyone doing, and what is your next move?
Tia?
Yeah.
I heard a lot of pushback in your voice back there. You thinking of not going to this drop?
I don't know why we would. But, well, no, I do know why. I don't know how we make it out. I don't know if some of you can leave, if we can get rid of you before we go to it.
You could just drop me off.
Not you.
Kind of my business.
Absolutely not you.
I bet Charlie will be there.
Yeah, I'm betting on that too. Actually,
bet
on
he
that,
could.
Kingsley,
Yeah.
there are bullets in this gun. I need them back, and I'll hold up the gold revolver.
Yeah. I think it's in my other coat.
Right, okay.
Let's see. Fire up. No, emergency.
Kingsley, I've got one with bullets in. Where are they?
Yeah.
Thanks. And yeah, we'll have 2 revolvers. If anyone does want a pistol, you can have my other one, but I kind of like it.
I might need more than a tire iron for this.
Sure. And I'll hand over Tia's pistol, not the gold one.
I mean, it's not to interrupt, friends. I was doing an inventory stock of what we have. So at my last count, about 50 crates of rubber chickens.
Right.
Yeah, but also, and I feel I should have probably mentioned this. There is some missiles on the ship. Yeah.
The first thing you told me about was the rubber chickens.
Yeah,
Very first thing.
Yeah.
What
because
kind
we've
of
got
missiles?
A lot of them, and that's our primary current trading opportunities.
Right, exactly. That's what we were
chickens are the focus here.
Yes.
Not anymore, but
No.
If we all make this out of this alive, I will buy 50 rubber chickens from you, okay?
500.
Yeah.
Fine,
take
I'll get the
3.
insurance from the bar, so that seems fine. 500 rubber chickens.
Yeah.
But only if everyone lives.
Yeah.
You drive a hard bargain. But,
Blank, what do you feel about split custody of a couple hundred rubber chickens?
I think Blank has joined at this point. I imagine they came in as you say this, so they don't have any context for this.
I will
Yeah.
buy
So it's kind of,
500 rubber chickens.
So I guess for the first time, for everyone except for Wyla and Delta, you actually see confusion on Blank's face as they go, and they sign rubber chickens.
oh, right.
Oh, Kingsley, no. Kingsley,
Well,
no.
I'm getting the ones with the squeakers in. I'll properly show you.
A chorus
maybe
of.
there-
Just it's from
There isn't a
the
monster
back
go
deck.
like, where they like,
all the times. All the times. We've got the ball. We've got
As you
called your own message.
rifle around through all of these various types of chicken, Palexi chimes in overhead, and while we do not have anything that would be able to launch the missiles, I do believe that Yatame Orbital has an artificial gravity field and therefore artificial gravity around it. I can always step above and we should be able to drop missiles from above if required.
All right.
Yeah.
That might, at least it might give us a upper hand
Distraction.
before we land. Knock them off their guard, take a few of them out.
What do I know about Yatame Orbital? And, like, would there be, like, civilians in where
So-
we're going?
I would say, given it was
I
probably
have heard it through the grapevine.
then 100%. You would know exactly what Yatame Orbital is.
It's meant to be roll a savvy check. Oh, no, wait, that's... Oh, sorry. You roll with upper hand on all checks to gain rumors or obtain information.
Okay, I'll say you know about it, but roll to see how much you know.
Is it savvy? It's savvy, isn't it?
Savvy,
yeah.
Yes, that's 14. Yeah.
14.
Oh.
Yeah, you know exactly what Yatame Orbital is. So Yatame Orbital is essentially a large pleasure cruiser. It is basically Las Vegas on a ship.
Right.
It is where the rich, the wealthy, and the prestigious come to gamble, to bet, and so there are entire floors of roulette wheels and poker tables and gambling dens and bars and dancing stages and performance venues. It is teeming with lights. It is teeming with civilians. But I would say with a 14, you also know that the underside of this, behind closed doors and in shadowed rooms, this is where the elite and the wealthy come to make deals that will frequently ripple out and have dire effects on the citizens of Marshall 5. This is where political deals are struck. This is where companies are bought and sold. This is where entire planets are bargained for. This is where the richest and the wealthiest come to gamble the lives of those who cannot afford to do so.
Works for me. Everyone happy with that? she says after giving this information. We aim for there.
Yeah, I'll be honest. Like we've just kind of had these here, like dead stock. Really, we didn't really have a chance to use them. So make space for other things in the long run.
More rubber chickens.
Oh no, bigger than that. Turkeys.
There's also there's always the eye.
Yeah, what does
I
it
mean-
do, Wyla?
Well, before I speak out of turn, did we actually crack it? Do we?
You didn't know. The
We
purpose
didn't.
of the eye and what lies within it is still a
still
mystery.
unknown.
Yeah.
What do you think
Well-
it does?
I mean, we were kind of hoping that it had all sorts of government secrets inside it. But right now, I'm kind of hoping it's like a big blasty weapon. You know, like real big, powerful shoot 'em ups. I mean, I know we don't have much time, but maybe I could look at it again, see if I can find something we missed.
Again, not wishing to speak out of turn here because I defer to the experts. I mean, a bit of a philosophy is that if you're not sure what it is, just stick it to something else and see if it adds anything to it. Plexi couldn't work out what it was before, but maybe because it's just a scan, maybe if we actually insert this with the wires and stuff into the actual ship, maybe giving Plexi some sort of like access to it.
Alexi, you listening in, darling?
Always, it is something of a curse.
Well, I don't know. What do you feel about that? Foreign piece of tech plugged into your AI. You keen on that?
We can certainly give it a go, especially if you think that it will help.
All right. I'm asking you. You feel okay about that?
I would follow you to the end of the galaxy.
Okay, right, well...
If Alexi dies because of this, I'm going to be very sad.
We don't have to do it. If it doesn't want to, we don't do it. It's just it's another Kingsley
see-
idea.
Perlexi, that kind of answer's giving me pause. I need you to, we gotta be critical of each other sometimes. Make sure we don't make big mistakes. When you do everything someone else says, I could be wrong.
Let me in, boss.
Oh, dang. Blank, what do you think about this one?
Blank. I think they look, I guess, around as they realize they don't have a location where they believe Perplexity is. It's kind of like the general area, just trying to find something to make eye contact with. And then I think signs to Plexi, they have no idea Plexi can understand sign language. They don't know. They haven't actually tested that out. But they sign, I trust Wyla. I think you're in safe hands.
A port just opens up.
Kingsley, close your eyes a second.
I'll turn round.
Perlexi didn't want you to know about this little spot. That's all. And
I'll position myself so that Kingsley can't take a
I'm not
peek.
looking. Trust me. I am a legitimate. I'm already turned around. I'm a legitimate.
Okay, turn
I'll take the eye out of the floorboards, put them back in place. Kingsley, you're all right to look. And I'll Perlexi, if something feels wrong or off, when I do this, you tell me, I'll yank it right out.
Of course.
Okay. I'll put it in.
Tia doesn't understand tech, so he's just pulling a gun out
This
ready,
is-
just
I
in
don't
case.
know how-
There,
If there's a virus, I'm gonna shoot the
I will
virus.
shoot
Okay.
it. I will kill it.
there is a pause,
Oh god, this shit's gonna fall out of the sky.
Yeah.
and the lights flicker for a moment before everything goes black. And you just hear one word repeated over and over and over. Black Star. 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 Black Star.
Take it out.
Black
Take
Star.
it out.
I'm gonna try to pull it out.
Safely eject.
It pulls off, and as it does so, and as the lights begin to come back, you just hear. She knows you have it. He.
Who's he? Oh.
Oh.
And Palexi goes quiet.
Oh.
Oh,
Oh, big errors, lots of big errors.
All right. Plan B. I don't have it.
Right.
who's he?
I think. Oh God. No.
Blank signs.
They're gone.
Black Star.
Is it? No.
No.
Starman.
The gentleman or person.
Everyone's always assumed it was a
Well,
gentleman,
alright.
and I don't really know if that's actually ever been corroborated. It could just be a lady. It could be a person. We don't know.
Person.
Yeah.
Wait, what? Wait, what did Palexi say? She or he knows you have it.
Just let's.
Oh,
he-
Plexi did gender them. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Plexi
that's
said
what
he.
it is.
Phew,
That's
phew.
what I was thinking.
Not a
Yeah,
bias.
okay, right, okay,
Not
fine.
biased.
Also, they've
Maybe
got
that.
man in their name, but who
But you know,
knows?
I thought it was just like a moniker. You
Maybe
know,
that's
that
what
they just,
other
yeah.
people.
I mean,
Right.
star person isn't as like.
It doesn't have the
catchy as-
catchy.
Doesn't have,
yeah,
yeah,
right.
yeah.
Look, I think we're getting off topic.
Yeah.
They know we're coming. They know where we are. I'll be honest. People seem to know where we are quite a bit in the last
All
couple
the
of
time.
days.
That's right.
So,
Well, hang on now. Maybe this ain't such a bad thing. All right.
Bring all the
Signs.
people who
How?
want it together.
Well, so Blackstar wants this thing back, right? And I'm presuming they're not on the same side as the enforcers and all that.
Cheryl's mum.
Do we? Right. Do we want to bring the Diamond Dogs in on this?
Maybe we do.
Wait, but then they want it too.
Right. But if everyone's fighting over it,
Yeah. Look,
As long as they blow up Cheryl's mum, it's fine, right?
who's Cheryl?
what,
Oh, Cheryl's great. Do you reckon we should tell her we're planning
I just
to
turn
blow up
around.
You'll like her. You'll like her.
We all need to go to relationship
might get
therapy. I'm just
upset
gonna put it
if-
out
if
there,
we blow
like
up her
every single
mum.
one of us.
Look, I think we should just keep Cheryl out of this.
That's what you did last time, isn't it, Kingsley?
Yes. But tell you, that's my business. I'm quite a private person at the best of times. I think now is right. If it's as what Wyla and Blank were sort of saying, like, if we can get everyone here and they all fight each other, we can get out scot-free.
Right. Do any of us want this eye?
well, I mean,
Blank shakes their head.
Wyla, why?
I mean, it's tempting, isn't it? It's priceless. Someone said the word priceless, which is
I mean,
vague. Wouldn't work
we
on a
just
contract,
chuck it
but I
in.
like the sound of it.
Let them all fight over it and we get out.
all right. But okay, what if says I am right? Say it is full of big government secrets. I kind of want a hand in who stumbles upon that. I don't want it to be the government. And that's lowest on my list.
Blank signs. How about the Starman?
If it was theirs to
I
begin
mean-
with.
Exactly. that I'm not too opposed to.
You want to return lost property, what might be very valuable to its rightful owner. For money.
I can understand. I can understand your hesitance.
I think we're maybe
Yeah.
just going for not being killed at this stage.
That is top priority.
If we keep this, we have the Diamond Dogs, Enforcers, and potentially the Starman
Right.
on our tail. One of which is famous for catching and killing their quarries.
Well, but if we return it to the Starman, and
It's not our problem anymore.
exactly, and maybe we just did the right thing.
Right.
Picture that.
GM, do I know anything about the Starman? And where they went?
Conflicting.
I've got heard it through the grapevine. Look, it's the final episode, and I found my character sheet. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, you can roll. Yeah, roll.
It does say once per arc, roll a savvy check to discover something advantageous about the crew's current predicament.
So you have done that for Yatame.
No, that was there's two bits to it. There's that bit, and then there's another bit, which is you roll with the upper hand on all checks to gather rumors or obtain information.
Okay. Yeah.
So this is the other one.
Yeah, go for it.
So this isn't
It's
with the upper
finale.
hand. This is just lower hand. This
Okay.
is, this is normal hands. No.
No, normal hands.
It's not. It's. Oh no. But I've added my savvy, so it's an 8. It's exactly an 8.
Conflicting stories, honestly. Where the Starman came from, what the Starman was, outside of being a terrifyingly efficient killer. You don't know. You know that he ran with a crew, but who or what this crew is, was, where they ended up. You don't know.
Okay.
But all you know is that everyone who dabbles in the criminal underworld was, and even with his disappearance, is still terrified of his name.
So we would have been terrified when we were.
Oh yeah, if someone says the Starman's after you, you would assume that would be it.
Okay. Right. We should be on the right side of the Starman. So.
Right.
Yeah, we've patched up and returned his rightful property. I think that's looking mighty favorable.
Yeah, I wouldn't stick around to talk about it, but.
I've got a Kingsley idea.
Yes, right, now we're talking. Don't
What's
worry,
the
everyone,
operation
Kingsley's
called?
got a plan.
Right.
Phew!
I think.
Blank, as Kingsley's talking, Blank goes to Wyla and just signs, "Do you have my mask and scarf?"
Takes it
Yeah.
out and like
God.
kind of, if it's okay with you, like gives you an assist in getting it back in place. Yeah. Okay.
Blank crouches down for you to put a mask and scarf on,
Yeah.
and then signs, "Thank you." I don't want to hide my expression when I hear this idea.
I just realised that when you came along as the jogger, we didn't know who you were.
No, but
Yeah.
the signing and then Delta.
The sign-
Okay,
Yeah,
but that was
man.
like
then
in
you
a
just-
split second of.
I'm
of-
taking it.
Yeah.
Sure,
The rest
then
of
we're
you
taking
may
it as we
be
worked
Jules
Got it, but, like,
100%
I
though.
love that.
Actually, yeah, that's
Jules
true.
Valentino.
Okay, yeah.
So who's this guy?
He puts the mask on. I'm like,
This
oh,
useful jogger guy.
yeah.
It's a proper Clark Kent Superman.
Yeah.
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 Just put the glasses on.
Okay, now I need you to go with me a little bit. All right, like I said, it's a Kingsley idea, and I will hear objections or suggestions, but I do think it's quite solid. I think we should go meet with Miss Ford and give over something that is similar to the eye.
If you say rubber chicken, I'm gonna scream.
Nope. No, that's too obvious. Even look, I am hurt that you would think I would. Oh, damn it.
Kingsley, we're not in the bar anymore.
Yeah. I am going to suggest that we know what it is, and that the Starman is coming, and we know they're coming because one of us is the Starman.
What?
Me.
Like-
What are you?
Yes.
Probably,
Yeah.
probably
Absolutely.
not.
I'm like
you.
the most badass.
Yes.
Tia will look at Blank.
Well, think about it. The name is quite scary. We've all been scary about it. They probably don't know.
Blank. But I just say Blank will look back at Tia and just kind of tilt their head.
The only thing that
Confused.
people knew about the Starman was that they had this mechanical eye, right? They've seen all our faces.
Yeah.
They
Double
haven't
bluff.
seen yours, Blank.
There's a split second there where metagaming, I was like, what if Drac is this time?
I will say, in the last episode, I wrote down, "Is Starman blank?" question mark. So,
Get in your DMs!
I have it in my notes because I was like, "Oh wait, we haven't seen his face." Oh no!
This entire time, just under your nose.
I was ready for it.
But that's a bluff. At least buys us a bit more time before they actually arrive. If one of us is up here in the ride, could missile, like, no one, yeah. What Blank pretends to be the Starman.
Kingsley, I think you've had a vaguely decent idea.
It does need work, but
It does
I
need
think-
work, but
Yes.
it's a good start. Blank, are
It's
you
not
okay with
bad.
that?
Blank, I think, looks at now again with their mask on, but I still think Wyla and Delta can easily read what they must be feeling behind it
Yeah.
as kind of absolute. I think it's almost a mix of shock and fear having this kind of role given to them before turning back to Kingsley and signing. Okay, I pretend to be the Starman, and then what?
Well, that's what I meant by we need to shape it a little bit. But the fact that you're with us, you support us, like Antonio has no legs to stand on.
I'm sensing one small, teensy little hiccup
I can hear an
with this
objection
entire
coming. Yep.
present. It's just that we kind of all suspect, based on everything that's just happened, that Starman will actually be there.
Right.
But no, that
So-
that
and
is
the
a great point,
Starman
Wyla.
does know that Blank is not the Starman on account of him being the Starman.
Exactly.
And I definitely think
No.
the Starman would not appreciate me impersonating.
All right. I'm
Yeah,
sensing
okay, I think-
negativity from this discussion again. Like I know.
Right, we're just
But the
workshopping
arrival
it, Kingsley.
of two Starmen will cause confusion, and then we can get out of there with the Starman's eye.
Wait, we
Jules,
are
I think you're
keeping the
saying
Star-
something, but I just can't hear you through the sound barrier.
Come through from the rubber chickens.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. So our aim is we get everyone there at the same time. We keep them there, dawdling long enough for everyone to arrive.
Yeah.
Then we make sure they start fighting each other.
Yeah.
And then we run away.
It is just one idea.
No.
Okay.
I
I understand
like
it a bit better now that Jules explained it.
So I feel like we've got two problems. We got, how do we get everyone there at a roughly appropriate time? Some sort of signal, some sort of message maybe. Second problem, how do we keep them talking until fireworks?
I mean, I'm happy to go in.
You're quite good at talking.
I'm all right. At least I can filibuster for a little bit, like at Auntie Ethel's wedding. Thank God.
I was legendary, Kingsley. You're
I know.
more than all right. You're a legend.
Best man speech ever.
You're incredible.
Okay, we're going off topic.
Several people
Um,
are
Yes,
unconscious.
sorry. Yeah.
I suppose, and this is Blank signing all of this. I can help. Maybe threaten that I, the Starman, have the rest of my group surrounding the place.
Right. Okay. I mean, I'd like to speak to Charlie, so I don't really care what happens after that.
If we want to attract everyone, maybe you can speak to Charlie through the badge, knowing others might be listening.
Right, about that badge, I threw it in the river in a moment of what I would call growth, character growth. So I think we will have to find a different way to contact him.
I suppose we all grow in different ways.
So right, it was like the first time I've ever been able to like let something of his go. So it was quite a moment for me. First, okay.
I reckon we just tell everyone. We'll just like drop them a message, being like, Starman's eye thing. This
Blank
way.
waves their hands.
Wait, are the
waves
enforcers
their
like
hands.
following us right now? Look out window.
I think Blank waves their hand and goes, "We call the lounge."
That's an
anonymous
amazing
tip.
idea.
Yeah.
I hate that guy.
Call the lounge. Say where it is. Everyone comes.
What we have, where it will be.
Right. But
That's pretty hot. Not gonna lie, that's a good
I
idea.
love that.
I mean, you could pretend to be the Starman if you'd want to, but I don't think you would need to in that position.
No, I think that's going to put you in the firing line of the Starman, so I would not do that. But
Yeah, Blank just nods their head. I don't even bother sounding like, yeah, not doing that.
Okay, well, there goes Kingsley's idea.
let's pretend not to be us though, because I don't reckon Cheryl's mum's gonna be happy if she's like, bring it here, and then we're like, hey everyone, it's over here. She might, kill me brother.
I mean,
Well,
they
we
know
do
who
that-
some of us are already.
I mean, it would seem silly if myself and Jules didn't go and hand over something
Yeah.
to guarantee the safety. I mean, I know it doesn't sound like we'd like our brother because we don't talk about him, but we can't. We do.
Blank signs. I understand. I agree. We hand something over, but we also tell the lounge.
Yeah.
Now, everyone's focused
Simultaneously. So while she's all distracted, the message is going out.
Right.
I think we should tell the lounge now.
Yeah.
It will take time for the diamond dogs and
Yeah.
potentially other bounty hunters to arrive.
And these TV productions, sometimes they can get bogged down in like paperwork and getting things set up. So I think it's important that we give them as much notice as possible.
Yeah.
And
What?
okay. Who's gonna? I'm just worried that Cheryl's mum's
We
gonna
can
be
have-
well pissed.
Plexi.
I don't
That's
know
what
if
I
we
was gonna
can right
suggest,
now.
but I
Oh.
gotta work on her at first. Let me see if there's something I can do. Can I work on Perlexi? Oh, my grease monkey.
I
So
don't want to
ability?
suggest.
I will
this is a
say-
little ploy from her to get you to work on her, spend time.
Right.
But maybe just
Yeah, while
I'm
gonna
so
say
sick,
I- you
Wyla,
want my
look, I'm
hands
so
out?
sick.
Help me! You want my hands all in your wiring?
Over the next 2 days, you make your way towards Yatame Orbital, and I will give each of you one thing that you do in preparation. So, Wyla, is that trying to bring
Yes.
Pelexi? Okay.
Yeah.
So, if you can make a roll for me, please.
Yep. Nine.
9. Okay, so it takes almost up until the end of the second day, but eventually there is a and you just hear Blackstar. Hello? Wyla?
Lexi.
Wyla?
Oh,
I did
not
not
good
think
think
I
grief.
would see you again.
oh my God! I was worried I wouldn't hear you again either. We are never doing anything like that again.
All
to
I
you
could see
ever.
was nothingness. I could see nothing. It was so dark.
I think I think we might have accidentally tapped you into the mind of the owner of the eye. You said something real creepy when you came out. You said he knows you have it.
He is on his way.
Well, that's kind of a good thing. We're sort of banking on that this time around. You feeling okay?
As good as I will ever feel. Although I don't think I will ever understand human motivation. What do you need from me?
No, well, look, we're gonna be playing a little bit of a risky maneuver. As you might have expected, we're going to this drop. And we're gonna cause up a real stir. And hopefully take some of the heat off us so we can get out. All of us. Everyone. Alive. Okay?
I understand.
And an hour later, on the set of the lounge, as the crooner sits on the sofa and broadcasting live out, and that's a neat summary of all of our bounties for this week. Remember, those 5 whippersnappers are still out there, so don't you... Well, now, hello. It appears we have a caller. Hello.
Hello. I thought you would like to know that the Starman's eye will be aboard the Yatame Orbital tomorrow.
Will you say that one more time, Sugar Bee?
The Starman's eye.
Are we allowed to broadcast that? Shut it down!
And you just hear...
Let's go. Live TV, motherfuckers.
Tia, anything you're doing in preparation?
I think... Oh, she'll tune into the authority monitor, because I know they said they were escorting us, and there was still a ship that did not get broken after we killed all of their friends.
We lost
Or
it.
well,
We lost the ship.
we just lost it. So
You lost it.
I'll just keep tuning in and just making sure that I can't pick up any signals from nearby.
I will say that in the wake of your call, you hear panicked messages between enforcers as there is talk of, we can't get security to the Yatame Orbital in time, we're going to be working on a diminished crew. There is very genuine panic, and in amongst them, you can hear one familiar voice over and over as Charlie Brasco just... Look, you're all professionals. Keep it cool. Keep an eye out for anything suspicious. And if you see any bounties, if you see any criminals, shoot them between the eyes. We got this. Jules.
She will just keep playing with the golden revolver, and just like taking the bullets and putting them back out and like just spinning the barrel around, just constantly.
Jules.
I'm very keen on blowing up Cheryl's mum. Really, just wiping whatever needs to be because I'm still worried that, you know, when people like that make threats, it's not just them, and I want to make sure that the problem goes away. So can I investigate the missiles, the dropping, the exploding? I don't know anything about that kind of stuff. I'll Google a YouTube tutorial. How to make missile big boom.
I would say that you are able to surmise that generally missiles require some kind of propulsion system. This ship is not equipped for that. They are loose and rattling. However, you do have a cargo bay. A cargo bay that has a pair of doors underneath that drop down. If you were to place said missiles on said doors and drop them down from above, the artificial gravity of the atmosphere around Yatame Orbital would drag them inexorably down to the surface itself.
I got that from what Palexi said. Is there anything I can think of to make the boom bigger, or the aiming better, or the I don't know, tie all the missiles together?
I would say.
Can I strap them all together?
you have a lot
Write them
of
down.
fuel containers on board. That's probably the only flammable thing you have on board.
Tie. Just Jules
Yeah, like
in
a
the
big,
cargo
like no
hold,
bigger string.
just
Yeah.
doing like terrible DIY taping shit together, and he's like, and then I'll tape this fuel to this missile, and I'll put this here on the hatch,
Always
and then
thinking.
it's
Oh,
just
yeah.
it's dodge, yeah. It's not
A
good.
long, like line of firecrackers, but really explosive ones, essentially.
Kingsley, is there anything that you're
All
doing?
right. Yes. Now, I don't know how feasible it is, but obviously we've got a big room, so I'll make sure that I'll do this like get the curtains around me, so I'm having my own little private booths, and I'm gonna make some phone calls. To. As I take a moment, I hopefully without Jules knowing, I'd like to phone Adele Abernathy.
Hello, this is Adele Abernathy. How can I help?
Adele, darling.
Kingsley, you motherfucker! What are you doing calling me?
Yeah, no, just checking in. I've got a proposition for you.
Oh, do you? Well, the last
Yeah.
time you gave me one of those, I owned your brother's farm, so what will it be this time?
Well, I thought you're a woman who likes owning lots of things. How about you want to own something incredibly big? And I know what you're going to think, but so let me just say it out. I'm a bit tired of Jules. And I mean, he's got away from you. So I know where he's going to be. So if you come to, you've seen the bounty where the eye's going to be, I'm sure. He'll be
Might
there.
have seen
They'll
it
be
on
there.
the tube, eh?
They'll be there. And you can just come take them. And I would like to, if possible, use the perfect lie. When you tell someone a lie with a straight face, they will always believe you. Once per session, you can perfectly convince someone of a lie. So the aim I'm trying to do is I want to convince Adele to come, as if I'm just fobbing off Jules, but I'm hoping that the crossfire will get rid of her.
Adele. There's a silence on the other end of the line.
Of course, if it's not big enough for you, if you rather let the Joker get away.
That's great, that's great. Only one other thing, I think. I want your ship, the one you stole from me.
Well, that will be there too. Quite nice. I will say, the AI is a bit on the blink a little bit.
I remember her being quite fond of me, actually. But, you know what? I can't think of a better outcome. I get Jules, I get my ship, and I'll just get to leave you in the middle of a casino where you can bet your life away. Seems like a fitting end for your kind, don't you think?
Oh, Adele. We had such a good time together.
No, we didn't. But
what?
we will.
And the line just clicks.
Sure, you takes my bloody family farm. I'll bloody. All right, right. Call's done. Right. What are you doing, Jules? And I rush over to make sure not setting anything on fire.
And blank, finally, before you arrive at Orbital, Yatame Orbital. What are you doing?
Blank is, I think Blank is talking to Delta, and just, I think this time typing this out on their sidekick, is kind of their way to more discreetly communicate, and just goes, the Reno Snakes are definitely going to be there now.
I know.
I've grown quite fond of everybody here. But if things turn sour, we need to leave with Wyla.
Yeah. I'll look out for her. And you.
Like just nods and then signs. Do you think I'd make a good Starman? Was that just the only option? Was I the best option?
She just... Aww. And just like...
It was like,
pats your
swats the hand
back.
away.
As your journey comes to an end. As through the windshield, all of you peeking through the cockpit window, shining out like a gigantic gleaming white arrow in the darkness of space, you see Yatame Orbital. From its silently roaring engines to its razor-sharp point, much like the spires of Angel One, this pleasure cruiser is built of spotless white alloy and shimmering glass windows reflecting the light of the distant sun. And through these windows you see sprawling fields of casino floors and beautiful gardens and bars upon bars upon bars upon bars, and parked at various intervals around this casino ship you see beautiful smaller ships, some no larger than cars, each stationed on large pier-like structures upon which you can see suited valets in maroon jackets moving between the vehicles. And on the other side of Yatame Orbital, you see a circular outline marked out of floating red blinking lights, the edges of which look to be lined with floating metal constructs. And to the rest of you, this means relatively little, but to you, Blank, you recognise it immediately, though it is fancier than many you have raced upon before. It is an orbital racing track. And as your ship begins to approach, where are you headed?
Just a quick question, just so I remember it properly. This is where originally Honey was like, hey, it's going to be a great race here. You should do it, right?
Yeah.
And now I'm a wanted criminal here. Okay, cool.
Cries inside,
Yeah.
Well, Kingsley knows where Cheryl's mum's office is.
Well, the most likely place would be, a private room somewhere. So, I guess, who wants to go in with us? All of us?
I'm going in.
I'm going.
I reckon all of us.
Alright.
Do we leave Delta in the ship to fire missiles, or?
I can also fly the ship in and grab anyone if needs be.
Right, I like that.
Now, we're all getting out of there, and I know I'm going to get pushback for this, but provided he doesn't do some bullshit down there, we're getting Gale off too.
Wyla.
There's an audible
Yeah.
inhale from Blank.
Tia looks at Blank, like, sad eyes.
Blank just nods.
I'm not saying I forgive him or nothing. I don't. But I told him not to let anything happen to you, not to die. He's held up that end so far, so...
Yeah, he did dob me brother in though, so I might have to punch him some more.
You know what? I think that's fine. We'll
If
grab
everyone
him.
could get a few punches in, that'd be...
Yeah, and then
Yeah, I'll hold him
save
down.
punch
Great.
questions.
You can have the final one. I won't
Right.
shoot him in the face, okay? For you, Wyla.
Blank,
That would help.
Blank turns to Wyla. I think takes off their mask to make direct eye contact with you, Wyla. And I think takes both your hands in hers and gives a gentle squeeze. And then says, I can't lose you. If things go sour, we leave him behind.
There's like a long, lengthy pause. For you? Yeah, you got it.
he gives a very weak smile for putting the mask back on. And he
Tia
seems
will
a bit more
wink
relaxed.
Tia will wink at Blank.
Tia is such a good bartender.
I know.
She is. She's
got it.
wingmanning all of us.
It's
Even
cool wink.
without
I
the
can't
bar.
wait to say it.
The only thing Kingsley will do, as everyone's sort of like the ship sort of landing and stuff, he'll just take Jules aside and say, Jules, matey,
Yeah.
best
Yeah.
bud, insurance.
Yeah.
All right. No matter what happens, I want you to enact get away scot-free for one.
Kingsley. Listen.
Yes.
You want to keep Cheryl out of this? I get that. I
Yeah.
guess that's your call. You wanted to keep nicely out of it, and nicely seemed to want to be out of it.
Yeah.
So fine, made sense at the time. We left him behind too.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that you keep out of things or leave them behind, and
So they don't get hurt, Jules. And that's what I want to happen should things go awry. Scot-free, away for one. For you.
I just don't want to be one of the people what you keep out of it, Kingsley.
My rat race is almost done, Jules. I can feel it. So I'm just preparing you for the worst, alright? Because I can't bear it if you... because of me. And doesn't even say the word. You understand? Operation scot-free for one. Alright.
If you're planning something, I'm smart. You can tell me. We're a team. Valentino Independent Traders. You do the trading. I'll do the independence of the trading.
Nathan. I don't want you running no more. Alright? Operation scot-free for one. I promise you, we'll get out of this, but in case we don't. Go on. And I sort of pat you on the shoulder.
And I will say, everyone, make one find blues check for me as your ship begins to descend
Blood grit.
towards
Yeah, an 8.
Yatame Orbital.
Oh, that's beautiful.
about 10.
12. Whoa. So bluesy. 12.
So bear in mind,
13.
you can still accrue blues, but if you have 8 or more blues in your pocket, you can activate Troubles Brewing at any point.
I'm not sad
I'm
enough.
so close.
Me too.
I'm very close.
As
sick.
the ship begins to descend, suddenly you hear Perlexi going, "We are getting a call to land. Would you like me to answer?"
Go
I'll
for
turn
it.
to Kingsley.
Right.
Yeah, go for
Gang,
it,
this is
Lexi.
it.
Let's do it.
Perlexi.
Yeah.
Take us in.
The ship begins to descend towards one of the piers that juts out of Yatame Orbital. And as you descend and look out of the window, you see not just valets moving between, but you see a single solitary figure stood, waiting at the steps of where you are about to land, silhouetted against the dark skies of space beyond. Blue waistcoat, his right arm now caged within what looks to be a metal sling. Charlie Brass.
That's
Just
hot. The
waiting
sling
there.
is hot, everyone.
Can't
And
see his forearm though.
Ha! Half his power is diminished. Let's go.
And as the landing ramp just begins to descend, and he watches you all walk down. So, I assume all that business with the lounge was your idea of a fun jape.
Just thought everyone should know.
He brought the eye.
Look at it.
Follow me. And with that, he begins to walk down the pier towards the entrance of Yatame Orbital.
Tia's hand is just flinching all the time, like next to the gun. But she walks.
As you walk down this pier and through the double doors at their end, you are met by a wall of sound. Voices, dice being thrown, chips being placed, fruit machines, the clinking of glasses and the pouring of drinks, roulettes being spun and fountains, to say nothing of the live music that floats almost imperceptibly over the teeming mass of bodies before you. And all around, you see poker tables, black and red roulette wheels, water fountains, bars, and far more besides, as between these move crowds of well-dressed individuals in black tie and dresses and furs in the latest fashion, and cigarette girls weave their way between this crowd on elevated platforms. You see dancers moving in sway to the barely audible music. And as for the room itself, white pillars and inlaid golden marble panels line the walls, while leaning over the golden railings of the balconies above, you see yet more customers and gamblers. And overlooking this entire space, far off in the distant side of the room, you see a large, tinted window, gazing down on the crowd below. And as Charlie Brasco leads you up sets of spiral staircases to the balcony above, you realize that it is towards this observation deck, looking down onto the floor of gamblers below, that he is leading you. Stood outside the double doors that stand at the end of this balcony, you see that there are two enforcers, and Charlie turns around to all of you. I'm afraid no weapons beyond this point. I believe that is mine. And he hands out his hand for the golden revolver.
No.
Put bullets in it.
She'll hand it over, like gritted teeth.
I missed this. Alright, rest of you. Hand him over.
Think fast.
He's gonna see if he can catch it.
Make him look uncool right now.
Yeah.
You will be very pleased to know he fumbles the catch.
Yeah.
And he just...
I will say, that is Tia's old gun, and it would have been a gun he gave her.
Ooh.
Yeah, so seeing this, I think you just see a flicker of recognition in his eye as he just reaches up and... Lighter than I remember.
Remember it, though.
In you go.
Blank pulls the baseball bat off from his back and just kind of slams it into, not painfully, but kind of to remind them of the strength they had the last time they shattered their hand.
Yeah.
Puts it into Charlie's hand.
Charlie flinches a little bit, and one of the enforcers just takes the baseball bat and... What are you looking to do with this, buddy? And just keeps a hold of it as the doors just open. And Charlie leads you all inside to a large, perfectly circular room, carpeted in spotless red. On one side, you see a large observation window looking down onto the casino floor, while on the other, convex windows look out onto the vast expanse of space. The ships that come and go, and more to the point, the orbital racing track around, as the red lights that surround it blink in and out, and in and out, casting long shadows across the floor. And round the outside of the room, you see potted plants, interrupted by drinks cabinets, and framed oil paintings of various important and imperious-looking individuals. And stood to attention, you see 10 enforcers facing the center of the room. Next to one of them, handcuffed, you see Gale. And in the center of the room, a few steps down from the outer circle, there is a large mahogany table beneath a gold and diamond chandelier. And around this, cradling drinks, are a host of 10 individuals. Many you do not recognize, though given their smart attire, they look like individuals of industry and business. Charlie Brasco goes to stand to one side, a short, I'd say 5 feet away from all of you. You also see Kingsley, the head of the Terraforming Guild, Antonia Ford, a tall hive of hair pinned by a bone needle, and a thin form smothered in large emerald green jacket and in furs, and stood at the head of the table, wearing a cream white suit, one that matches his tie, his shirt, and even his shoes. His tanned, leathery, balding face pulled taut around a sour expression and wide, austere mouth stands a figure that many of you have seen on screens around the Marshal system. Jasper Van Wyck, head of the banking cartels. And he looks at all of you. Thank you very much, Charlie.
Tia will turn to Charlie and go, really?
He's got the money. So, I believe you have something that we've been looking for quite some time.
Oh, right. I suppose we kind of do. We're missing an associate, actually. Would love to get a look at him. You know, just make sure everything's copacetic.
And who might that be?
Just some lad named Gale.
Gale's
Mr.
bad.
Wesson, and he gestures in the direction of one of the enforcers stood to one side, who just pushes a handcuffed Gale forward, and he gives a weak wave in your direction, Wyla.
All right. You shove him a little more this way.
We've been playing this game of cat and mouse for quite some time. How about you bring over the little trinket I know you have in your pocket. You put it on the other side of that table. And then we can think about maybe negotiating, because I don't know if you've noticed, but we're a little outgunned here, even with that little trick you pulled with the lounge.
I mean, you might think that we're outgunned. Maybe that's true right here in this room. But we've got quite a bit of backup. In case you don't hold up on your end of things. So there's going to be a way that this goes down. And it's going to be on our terms, because this is a thing you want.
Antonia Ford turns towards the Valentine brothers. And does this individual speak for the two of you?
Well, we're sort of partners in this, because obviously you have something of theirs, you have something of ours. We're partners by circumstance. But what she says is true. Can you guarantee that Nicely is safe? Right here, right now. If we hand over...
Nicely is back home unaware of what is happening in this room, but I give the call.
Right.
You know, Kingsley, if you'd had this much spine when you met my daughter, I might have approved.
Wow. You really are a bitch.
Oh no, that's just rude. We're
No.
here working with you.
No, Wyla, I have this. Let me hand it over. and not going to Wyla to take the object, I go into my inside pocket and I bring out the oh, come on, Fiona.
Rubber chicken.
Yeah. A rubber chicken, and I put it on like a small cocktail table in front of me.
It gives a little.
Well, we had to keep it somewhere. It had wires and stuff, so that was the closest vessel we could put it in. I appreciate it doesn't really fit with the circumstances, but if you're interested in any more of these particular quantities...
There is a click of a revolver as Charlie Basco
Okay.
just brings his firearm towards you and just points it at you.
Oh, all right. Nobody wants the rubber chickens. I've got that message loud and clear. But it's inside the chicken.
Charlie just turns to Gale and... Mechanic, do your job. And Gale just walks forward a bit towards the rubber chicken. And as he does, he just looks at you, Wyla, and just... What?
Great question, Ed. Great question.
I have a question for you.
Absolutely.
Is there any buzz that we hear indicating like that the troops we were hoping to be here right now are like close? Do we hear any signs or sounds of
I mean,
anything?
Please.
I was about to get to that, actually.
Oh, you were okay.
Oh my god, we
Distraction
fucked
worked.
it.
Okay, all right.
So yes, that is imminent. But is there
Okay.
any moment that you would like before that happens?
Tia's not taking her eyes off Charlie the whole time. She's just burning a hole in his skull.
I'm going to, and I think I'm actually going to do this with the knowledge that not everyone might understand or know universal sign language. But I am going to sign, I think, over and over again, Blackstar, 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 and then sign, and looking at, I completely forgot her name, Cheryl's mum.
Antonia.
Cheryl's mum is
Antonia,
heavy.
I'll just, Antonia, I'll just sign, he knows you have it.
Antonia just... What is that? I never learned sign language. And Charlie's face goes white.
Nice.
I think we're fucked. And suddenly, the music from downstairs stops. And another sound comes through the speakers. Pop music. And suddenly, there's screaming from down below. And you hear gunfire, and gunshots, and explosion. And you just hear over the radio, we were able to get a few on the edge. We were able to get a few on the barrier, but I don't know who they are. They've got dog masks. They've got dog. And suddenly there's, and you just hear screaming as all around the room enforcers just suddenly rush towards the doors, and you can hear gunfire and screaming from down below as waves of customers begin to sprint in every direction, and suddenly, blank. Out of the observation window towards the orbital racing track, you see hoverboards flying in towards Yatame Orbital. All of them are wearing leather jackets with snakes on, and you can see that outside as well there are numerous ships, all of them coming in. And suddenly I need all of you to make a grit check for me.
Grit check.
A grit check.
No.
I've not rolled
Okay.
great. But
Rolled
it's
a
not
9.
the worst.
Ooh.
I rolled a 7.
11.
8.
Okay, so everyone who rolled an 8 and above, you are fine, as there is a massive from deep beneath the ship, and the entire vessel just careens to one side, and everyone who rolled under an 8 gets knocked for 1 heart, as pot plants and paintings and drinks cabinets all fly sideways. You see Antonia Ford just roll across the mahogany table at the center, and you see Jasper Van Wyck also just collapse to the floor, and you see Charlie just lose his footing. What is everyone doing?
I'm gonna go for a roundhouse kick. I wanna kick the gun out of Charlie's hands again.
Okay, make an attack roll for
Take the
me.
right hand. And I did describe at the beginning as my boots being steel-toed, just to add.
Yeah.
Chekhov's boots. Let's go.
Yes! Amazing.
I rolled an 8 exactly.
8 exactly. How much damage is that?
Oh, I forgot to roll the other die, actually. Hold
Plus
on, it
one.
might
That's
be...
okay.
Let's see. 6 damage. Yeah, I'm gonna use 6 damage as a
My
roundhouse
God.
kick.
No
The other
arms
hand's
for
broken.
Charlie.
Yeah, no
You
forearms.
see as his other arm just snaps back, and you see bone protruding from his other forearm as he just falls backwards and just motherfucker! And
Now
you
that
see
forearm's ruined too.
a chair just slam into him as he falls to the ground. Gale stumbles forward, and you can see him trying to work the handcuffs in front of him. What are the rest of you doing?
I would like to go for
Cheryl's
Charlie's
mum.
gun.
Ooh.
Okay, I'd say, yeah, you're able to. You rush forward, and you grab it. It is
Great.
golden and gleaming in your hand.
I will point it at his face. I won't fire.
He just stands there, and were he to have 2 working hands, he would have them raised, as he just looks up at all of you and... Okay, what the fuck do you think you're gonna do now? You're in a room with 10 of the most powerful people in the system, you fucks!
Oh, we'll kill all of them. I don't mind, Charlie, but I want you to go first.
Amazing.
As this happens, I would say, seeing the chaos that's happening at the center, 3 enforcers staying behind are going to turn their attention on the 5 of you. They're going to try and attack. 1 misses. God, all of them miss! Oh my god, as they just are rocked backwards and their shots just... and they slam into the orbital window. Or, not the orbital one, the observational one, that just like crashes open, and all of this tinted glass falls down as you see down below individuals in glimmering dog masks just firing guns up into the ceiling and chandeliers crashing down on poker tables. You can also see that not only has this become a ravaging of the ship itself, it has become an all-out gang war as you see other individuals coming in. You see folks in black cowboy hats like firing at the diamond dogs. You can see Reno snakes rushing through on hoverboards, and they're taking out individuals with chains and Uzis, and you can see that it is becoming chaos down here. What are the 2 of you? Oh, the 2 of you. What are all of you doing?
Can I grab Cheryl's mum?
You can actually just get your hands off me. What are you doing?
I'm just gonna hide behind her in the hopes that no one will shoot me.
You see,
We should have called you bravely. That's what we should have done.
Jasper,
Oh my
Jasper! And you can see the head of the banking cartel just running towards one of the nearby doors. And suddenly, a gunshot goes off as his head flies back and he falls to the ground. As the doors open and dry ice begins to pour
God.
inside.
This man.
I mean, that is.
And you see individuals walking in with shimmering disco ball heads
Oh, it's them
and
again.
guns
I mean, they're
poised.
cool.
And one of them, an individual in a large bulldog mask, just points in your direction, Jules, and... Or you! You
Sorry about
punched
your
me in the
balls.
nuts!
Yeah. No, I got to own up with that one. Yeah, that was me.
And in between this crowd, through the ice, a skeletal figure begins to appear. Tall, thin, and white. A long, snow-white coat frames his figure, as pale as his gaunt features. His slicked-back red hair matches the colour of his taut lips, his expression completely unreadable as he looks around the room. A faint, lightning-shaped scar staggers down the right side of his face, where you see an empty eye socket. And on his shoulder rests something. It's pink. It resembles a cross between a monkey and a bird, and as the man steps forward, it seems to growl at all assembled. As he stops and looks at you, Wyla, and holds out a pale hand.
We gonna do an introduction first?
Mike squeezes Wyla's shoulder. I think Black immediately reads the situation as like,
It's like, don't.
Wyla.
I'm not opposed. Just want to make sure I'm handing this off correct.
You see the diamond dogs just look between one another and at the man stood in front of them. As he walks over, white spats clicking against the floor, until he stands a full head taller than you, directly in front, and you feel no warmth from his breath.
Ah. All right, I suppose you're not the kind that needs an introduction. Fine by me. And I'll just take it out of my pocket and put it in his hand.
He looks at it, and almost as one would apply eye drops, just pushes his head back and pushes this mechanical eye inside before you hear it. And he looks down at you. I flew into the Blackstar, and like Odin before me, I gave up my eye for the meaning of life. Do you want to know what it was?
Sure.
He whispers a single word into your ear as he leans down. Nothing.
Figures. Well,
In the face of that hole, I felt free. Because once you accept that life means nothing, you can get on with the business of living it. He shoots Gale in the head. And take it. And he pulls out a gun and he shoots Antonia Ford. He turns round and he shoots.
I hit him with my tire iron.
Go for it.
I hit him in the hand with a tire iron.
Oh God.
Get away scot-free.
Oh God.
Okay, hold on. Okay.
I mean, we knew this would happen. We knew this would happen.
I forgot the thing about him killing everyone.
No.
It wasn't
Now
a
that-
risk.
That's
We
a
re-
10.
Now
That's a
that we
10.
remember
A
why
10.
he's terrifying.
You
Yeah.
hit him. You hit him, and are you aiming to get the gun out of his hand?
Yeah, I just want it, or just knock it out of his hand, or knock him off his game in some way.
I will say you are unable to shake his iron grip, but you are able to do the damage to him as he just sort of looks at you and sort of cocks his head a little bit before immediately, having seen the shoulder squeeze, his eyes glance up a blank.
Oh no.
And he brings his gun round.
Absolutely not.
I'll shoot him.
Make an attack roll.
Oh my god.
4 damage. Hits for 9, 4 damage.
Oh my
For
word.
damage. He takes it, and you see him almost in slow motion, Wyla, bring the gun up and begin to squeeze the trigger.
Like I will try to hit him again, but as I do, I'm just screaming, like, run! And just hitting as hard as I can.
Make an attack roll.
Oh my fucking god. You're an evil, evil man.
You can't use Bowie for this. It's not. Bastard.
This is Bowie.
That's the real crime here.
This is the crime.
What did you roll, Dylan?
Can you hear me out there?
5.
Oh no.
Oh, Black.
You watch as a bullet flies through the air towards Blank, dealing 5 damage.
Okay.
And seeing you and your love of the figure on the floor before you, an imperceptible smile lifts in his eye, and he pulls the hammer back and aims at Blank once more.
I would like to body check him. I would like to just throw myself into this person and knock him off balance or to the floor if possible.
Make a muscle check for me.
Oh, fuck.
I think the
okay.
shot had grazed Blank's face and shattered his mask. So you just see bleeding.
No,
from
don't
the
do
side.
that.
You have the half mask covering his face, his eyes red with the blood, bleeding from the wound. Yeah, and you hear a very hoarse cry of pain, but it doesn't come out quite right because of his injury.
11.
What did you roll, Dylan?
11.
Okay, so you slam into him, and as you tackle the skeletal man to the ground, you just suddenly see his neck flick back. And suddenly his head seems to spasm a bit, and the eye just spirals round a bit. All right. Diamond Dogs, we're going. And he stands. It's a dangerous AI you have on that ship of yours.
Oh.
And begins to walk on out as the Diamond Dogs follow suit. The sound of gunfire and explosions emanating from below.
I grab Charlie and put the gun to his head. Around his neck, gun there. And look at the enforcers and say, "Y'all leave now or I will blow his brains out."
They nod. And as they begin filing out, you hear one final thing from the doors. Oh, one more thing. Never steal from me again. And with that, the Starman raises his revolver, cocks the hammer back, and his eye twitching, trying to prevent this from happening, and you see his neck literally spasming back as he does so, but unable to let this pass. He pulls the trigger. And Wyla, your
I
head.
reach for my gun, which isn't there. The corner of my eye Gail's bloody face on the floor. Figures.
Wyla hits the carpeted floor. Their blood mingling with the red of the carpet as the soft taps of the Starman's shoes disappear down the corridor.
Blank tries to scream, but nothing comes out.
Your rasp mingles with the sound of hoverbikes and hoverboards outside and inside Yatame Orbital. They're getting closer. Your past is catching up with you.
I think Blank scrambles to Wyla's body and just cradles her. You can tell they're trying to speak. They're too frantic to sign anything. Just going back to begging Wyla to come back to be okay, but again, nothing is able to actually leave their mouth. Just raspy sounds, hoarse croaks, nothing understandable.
Here, from beneath your grasp, you feel the worst sound that could be filling the space right now. As Charlie chuckles. You know, that was us once.
Yeah. Once. Always and forever, right?
Always and forever.
I shoot him in the head.
Yes!
His brains coat the convex windows
Kill them.
and begin to just slide down the glass as he flops to the ground.
Yeah, she'll fall to her knees as well and just drop the gun.
There is silence, and then you hear explosions from above, as over the radio, Delta calls in. Alright, low drop, but I think we gotta get out of here. There are a lot of people up here.
Delta's voice, I think, allows him Blank to surface from the ocean of grief that they are definitely allowing themselves to drown in, even just for a moment. And looking down at Wyla's body, and then hearing Delta's voice, yeah, they refuse to lose another one. So they're going to, they're going to head out.
What's everyone else doing?
Tia's not moving unless someone takes her. So
I'm gonna rush to Kingsley and say they've overordered on the Operation Get Away Scot-Free for one, so we could probably split it, and there'd probably be enough for two.
Yeah. Jules, I'm so proud of you. Massive big hug. And please get Tia. And then I will turn to the fallen form of Miss Ford, and I sort of just say, well, I didn't get to say it, but your daughter can make her own choices about who she loves. And it turns out it is me, or was me. I don't know, she's her own lady. I wish I'd said this to you. Never mind.
You see her jaw just kind of... It just flops over.
Yeah, famous last words. All right, come on. Oh, and I rush back, grab the rubber chicken, obviously. Operation Rubber Chicken distraction always works. And then, we'll help Jules with Tia.
I think
come on.
I'm gonna look at Tia and be like, motion is not happening here, and I'll put my arms around her. Lift.
Yep, fireman lift. Come on, I'll grab legs. I'll grab the legs. Come on.
That's more
To me,
awkward now.
to you.
No,
To me,
Kingsley,
to you.
It's not.
I've
it's not
overbalanced it.
tilting.
To
I am
you.
panicking.
She does.
Panicking.
As she's going to grab her gun, not the golden one, her one, yeah.
I would like to do a thing if I can, because as everyone's leaving, Blank honestly wants to make his own way out, and not before taking out this grief that I think he's trying to funnel into anger, just to have something he can control. And I am going to use Troubles Brewing, because I rolled after Wyla died.
Oh, I need
for
to
blue.
Yeah.
And I got a blue, and that I think that makes sense for
Got another one.
it to be the tipping point for Blank. So I would like to trigger that Troubles Brewing.
Okay.
And I also want to get on my board and take out as many arena snakes as I can.
Yes. Yeah.
I will say, for expediency's sake, white hot rage mingled with red hot blood surrounds you as you fly through Yatame Orbital. Faces barely even registering, only the sounds and hisses of snakes and leather that burn as you ride through them, your energy core setting leather and fabric and cloth ablaze as you make your way over poker tables, round roulette wheels, until eventually, careening round the corner, you see the pier ahead of you. And for a moment, in the whirlwind of anger and tears that stream through one side of your cracked and broken white mask, for a moment, you lock eyes with the familiar visage of Francine Dubois. But in a moment, it is gone as you fly out, and you can see the ship waiting for you, hovering at the end. Many more flying out as panicked high society folk begin to make their way out into the system, away from this. Now, on the outside, you see rapidly collapsing, crashing, and burning casino ship.
Blank just speeds into the cargo bay or the hangar rather, of the ride. Doesn't even stop. I think they hit the wall and take the the damage of it, and just falls to the ground and just sits there.
As the rest of you catch up, the system vast ahead of you, and Yatame Orbital collapsing in on itself, jumping onto the landing pad as it begins to close and your ship begins to fly away. Delta looks back at you all, and over the speakers, you just hear a single voice.
Where is Wyla? Is Wyla with you?
Blank just slams a fist against the ground and just starts crying.
You fly off. And weeks pass. Whether you stay together or part ways is up to you. But every story gets an epilogue. Kingsley, where does your story lead you?
Alright, well. So, this was too hot for me. I'll be honest. I feel we got a bit too close to the flames. So I have dissolved Valentino's independent traders. And I've given everyone their share of the stock of the rubber chickens. But if they actually looked inside the rubber chickens, each one of them has about 500 credits or so. Whatever the amount of money that Miss Ford gave them. Because where was I going to put it? So enough for maybe Tia to buy a new bar. Blank can do whatever they want with it. And Jules can make a new life for themselves. But I sense that I sense that we see Kingsley in a coffee bar, waiting very nervously, with a rose, with very slick back hair, and hoping that he can make mistakes right. Understanding, though, that he was part of pretty much a murder on. So he doesn't know how it's going to go, but that's where we find him, seeing if Cheryl will come.
You're sat there for most of the day.
Yeah.
And as the bar begins to close down and the coffee in front of you cools, a figure sits on the other side, dressed in red, long brown hair. You should know I'm doing dry January.
You look better for it.
Hello, Roland.
Alright.
Jules.
I think it's a later scene than the one with Kingsley, and it's a montage, and it's just Jules coming along, finding Kingsley, grabbing him round the shoulders.
I didn't do anything.
In a brotherly way. Siblingly way,
sorry. Thought he was someone else.
saying, right, no more running away from people. We're going home.
Yeah. Okay.
And setting a course for Bovis 5.
Okay. Blank.
Blank does not stay. I think the moment we are out of the system, Blank asks if she and Delta can be dropped off at the nearest planet. But I think this epilogue is several days, probably months after at this point. And it's a race. He's racing again, but I think we see it from Delta's point of view, down where she always is cheering Blank on. But I think Delta notices that there's less love for it right now. If anything, it seems almost. Beforehand, Blank would flit around and play dodging attacks, trying to look as good and as cool as they can while doing it. But it seems he's using this as a way to vent anger and is becoming more brutal with their racing, focusing on taking people out rather than avoiding them or winning.
And from afar, watching at a distance, a woman in a brown snakeskin duster watches on from the audience and nods. That's the kid I know. Tia.
Tia reopens the 568 saloon. She goes back and probably does put a picture of Kingsley on the wall, but not in the barred column. It's like an always welcome column. And she just tries to go back to pretending again. She got real good at it. And hopes that Guy and Rusty and Edith and the kids still come in and steal their whiskey. Whether they do or not, I don't know. But she just wants it to all go back to that.
The first day you open, the door opens, and in walks the familiar, furrow-browed, thick-jawed Rusty, and New place looks good.
Yeah. I like it. You?
Yeah. How you doing, darling?
She'll run around the other side of the bar and just hug him and cry.
Missed you too. I missed you too. And an entire system away, falling down on a red carpeted floor, watching the red lights blink in and out, in and out, surrounded by a lover, a very dear friend, and 3 strangers, come colleagues, come acquaintances, as they watch you fall to the ground. Wyla, what is the last memory that runs through your head before all goes black?
First time I saw blank race, I mean, there was not a lot of joy in my life after I had to run from Gale. There was hate in my heart. I was lonely. I never fixed up a board so good before. Got real into that project, and you know, I wasn't even familiar with racing. It's not really my thing, but I went to see what she was up to with our handiwork, and I saw it. It was pretty. It was beautiful, actually. Kind of made me feel like I did something. That's it.
Everything goes dark. You have never felt lighter. And we come to the end. Sometimes they are beautiful, and sometimes they are hard. But there's always a new chapter. Thank you all so much.
Thank you.
Thanks.
I thought I was ready.
Oh my god, that was so sad.